Initialize sequence.
Yo, this Blaze, you down, homie.
This is JD Match Rock.
This be the one them called Tech 9. Yo, what up? This is Shags 2 Dope from Insane Clown Posse. This is the genius, Chris Calico.
What up? It's G-Mo Ski. This is Ritz, White Jesus.
It's the Kid Mercury. This is Slain.
Dragon Eyes, Necro, Project Born, Mad Child,
Your boy Jerry.
Vinted. Welcome to the Underground, Australia's home of rap, metal, and alternative music.
What is up and welcome to the Underground. It is Ned, joined by Lyrizone. Lyrizone, what's up, man? Good to see you in person.
What's up, bro? How are you?
I'm really good, thank you, man. Excited to chat with you, man. First up, I want to talk about the pandemic and how that has affected you. I've been asking all of my guests this, man, but how has it affected you?
Oh, it's been really bad. Unfortunately, it's cut a lot of studio time because we had to watch out. And me being the person I am, I want to make sure that people I'm recording with, they're safe. So hence why you're seeing this. I had to do a lot of studio proofing and doing the home studio, even especially with the chaotic eyeball, helps with the actual like compression a little bit. Pretty much like soundproofing the walls. But I do wait for this to be done. It probably won't be a while before we get back to normal. But it also helped me as far as setting up my game plan, because this year I've done a lot of stuff behind the scenes that I wasn't doing last year. Live streams, stuff I can actually do in my apartment, recordings, getting back at the Cubase, because Cubase is a beast of a program. But it's just been a learning curve. So the best thing about this pandemic per se is just learning, because it's more in-depth and hands-on now, which is good.
Yeah, and a lot of positives have come out for you, man. Like we were just talking a little bit before, your streaming numbers have not only increased, but they've doubled since this time last year. So that has to really be hats off to you, taking it off, man.
Thank you.
For the great work that you've done with all of the interviews and everything that you've done throughout the year.
Oh, yeah. I'm very surprised at the numbers myself, because I was really happy with it, especially since there's been a remix project. We had Retro Injection came out that was mostly a chopped and screwed up type album. We did one single, we did a bunch of features throughout the year. Most of it was just promoting, which is great, because that's the one thing I felt like last year was good on, but I could have done better. And I feel like with this year, I've spent the time dealing with the back end stuff, like I said before, and just keeping the ball rolling. And that's why going forward in 2021, I know what to look forward to, what to look into, and what to work around.
Yeah, man, I'm very much looking forward to 2021. I can tell you that right now, because to those who don't know, this man right here, Lyrizone, has got that sort of rap metal, sort of horrorcore sort of feel to you, man. What sort of would you best describe it, and why did you go down this path, man? Because it's not the easiest one to sort of...
That's why.
Well, because it's not the easiest?
That's why. Yeah.
The easiest path would always be the one I don't want to go into. Before, like, my auditory preferences, what I like listen to is probably more classic opera music, believe it or not. I don't really listen to a lot of metal, but the more I have been putting into hip hop, like I just originally got into this style again 3 years ago. And so far it's pretty much been my bread and butter, and it's been making it so much easier for me to write, because with metal itself I found a way to write, especially for horrorcore itself, people are usually to boom bop and just their regular storytelling. With metal I can actually put into it and make it more intense, and I feel with the guitar usage, the drums, live drum production, it usually helps 100% bring the story together. Because even with the system, the first single this year, I had Ill Fortune work on his first production, and we were tweaking behind the scenes. I was like, okay, so I got the production from him, and I have the Sweet Relief project. I need to start capitalizing on the sound people know me for, because Parasite right now, we're hitting over 200K on Spotify, and that's one of the tracks that I've been finding on playlists that are people automatically identify me by that sound. And I don't want to stick by one area, but I also want to find a way to, if they're happy with it and the fans love it, give more what they want. And at the same point, I can use that as I want to get better at my storytelling, and that's where we're pretty much going. But that's where I'm at right now, is essentially building my sound for the rock aspect, and just keep going. So
Yeah, no, I love that right there, man. You mentioned Retro Injection right throughout.
Yes.
So that's your sort of most recent release, which is just chop and screwed remixes and whatnot. What do we have to look forward to in 2021? I know that this has been like the foundation year here, say, but what is heading our way next year?
Well, this year had a lot of things, like before we were talking about the actual music video, a lot of things had to get pushed back to the side because we couldn't travel as much. A lot of restrictions as far as go around, and I guess there's a lot of limitations. So hopefully by 2021 we can find some way to do more music videos, because like I said, I'm not trying to jeopardize anybody's health.
We're back after some technical difficulties there, Lyrizone. Man, there ain't no stopping us though. We are back. I want to talk about your live streams now, man. You've got a regular live stream. Can you let people know about that?
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, man. It's actually every Saturday. We start at 4 o'clock Western time, 7 o'clock Eastern time. Essentially, I'm going through Streamlabs, and shout out to them for the platform. I'm using every single Saturday to promote artists, people I see that I enjoy. There's a group called Raw Tongue Tyrants. They've been sending me a couple tracks from promotes. I use the Spotify playlist. If you go to Lyrizone Livestream playlist, you'll find a playlist essentially has my tracks, people I'm promoting, different tracks as far as people that want to have their sound out there. I'll have promotions like this Saturday. I'm pretty much doing a giveaway announcement, because on Instagram we hit 800 followers, which is some people don't think that's not big, but it's 800 people who want to follow me and see my progress and hear my music, and that means everything. That's 800 people who actually care. So that's all that matters to me, is just taking care of them. So Saturday, we're gonna go through and give away a brand new shirt design that was done for Christmas, Krampus. We have a coffee mug drink, and I'll have a little package for them as far as giveaway, but it's a give back. So stuff like that I do for the Saturdays to show my appreciation for my followers and fans. We also have soundtracks like for all last month, promoting the last album, just cool stuff like that to give back.
Yeah, that is awesome right there, man. So you've got your live stream. What's the status on the Musicians podcast at the moment?
The podcast, we're actually still waiting for things to cool down a little bit, because now we're going back to, unfortunately, talking about locking things down. And if that does happen over here, a lot of my people that was trying to get in there for a while, I was telling them, hey, so this is another cool thing, is that I'm going to try to do more videos online, and I can actually do it at my place. But we can find a way to make this work, because I still want to get the podcast going. But another thing that kind of put a wrench in the gears, is that the podcast was designed to bring Portland artists and Washington artists together and bring them to the studio, and I can interview them, because I want to know more about my peers. I like to know people in my home states, and I want to make sure that I know what's going more around me, more knowledgeable. And by this happening, people want to be more safer, so they're not able to actually show up. So right now, the last one was Devin Cash. Shout out to him. People came in there. We talked shop for a little bit. We started talking. Next thing I was like, Josh, put the recorder on. Let's just go ahead and go. And we just left from there. The main thing for the podcast is just to make people relaxed and feel at home. And with the studio being the way it was, 9 times out of 10, it's Josh's clients coming in. I say, hey, you want to be on a podcast? And they're like, sure. I'm like, cool. Get to learn more about you. And 9 times out of 10, it's different genre and stuff I don't touch and never actually got into, and I learn more about it. And that's the one thing about music that I love, is it's all different. So I'm hoping, like I said, by 2021 things change up a little bit, but we'll see. But I'm hoping that one person right now said they couldn't do it because they're in situations as far as health, which I'm completely fine with. But we're just trying to make sure that the people I bring in are happy first and comfortable coming in. I don't want to rush anything or pressure anyone. So.
Yeah, no, I definitely hear where you're coming from there, and we're sort of the opposite to you, man. Like, we've had our lockdowns and everything. Fingers crossed they're behind us at the moment, but I think you're sort of where we were a couple of months back. So it's, it's short-term pain for long-term gain sort of thing, and I'm looking forward to, hearing more of the Musicians podcast, man, because it is a great concept.
Oh yeah, I love it. It was one of those things when I first started off, I'm like, okay, people either like it or they'll hate it, because they're so used to the horrorcore side of Lyrizone. They're not used to Joseph being the person just interviewing someone. Even though I'm still Lyrizone per se interviewing, I'm also, my personality shows a little more. I laugh a little more, where I can still do it. I still do it what I do now, but it's more unfiltered. Believe it or not, Kayla just said horrorcore is more filtered. That makes no sense. but yeah, I really look forward to it. It's one of those things to where I use it for I guess mental perspective, and also learning different people and how they cope through music. Because some people come in and they're like, with Devin, he comes in as far as being an athlete. He came into it to experiment and have more bravado as far as putting music out there, and also using his energy. Where mine, I use it more for storytelling type thing. I still use the energy, but I love writing stories. And that's where I use the horrorcore, because I like horror movies. But then I'll find, like with Josh, when he had his first one, he was talking about him doing production, mostly focusing on that. Like, if you go through all the podcast episodes, each one has its own personality, which is fun. And that's the way I want to keep it, because a lot of podcasts are just like shooting back and forth. But with this one, I feel it's more homey. It's more like you just sit back and just open up. And
no, that's very good, man, and an excellent way to network. And speaking of networking, Lyrizone Joseph, man, tell us about this. This is big. Look at you there in your leather jacket. I see that, and you've just signed.
It is.
You're like the Fonz, man. The Fonz.
I had to. It made the reference in the system. Black leather jacket.
Yeah, I like it, man. And you've just signed a clothing deal with Dirtbag Clothing. Can you let us know about that? That is huge.
Oh yeah. I'm actually endorsed by Dirtbag Clothing. Shout out to them. They're awesome people. We also got a separate partnership with Swift Lifestyles. They are pretty much for my streaming as far as going live on Saturday. And I'll actually this is actually what I drink live, and this is the Reaction X's lemonade. I got another one coming in, but essentially what I do is between those, I just drink on air. It's really, really good. Gets me pumped up and amped up. I don't crash, which is going from the first live stream was supposed to be like an hour. It was a 2.5 hour long live stream, and I didn't even freaking know it. It was already just like spacing out, having fun. Time flies when you're having fun. But that company got with them, showed them some of the music, and they've been cool with me ever since. And we've been pretty much just connecting. Send them stuff as far as IG posting and when I'm going live, and we just go back and forth from there. I'm hoping that when the studio thing calms down, as far as us going over there, I was planning on doing pretty much an ad. There will be a special song made just for that ad that I told Josh we're gonna actually get. I'm thinking about doing a verse, but I might just do a chorus, because chorus bring more energy, which I'll disclose later how I'm gonna go about the commercial, because I didn't want to leak too much. Don't want to spoil it. But my plan was to promote both Dirtbag Clothing and Swift Lifestyles, and that's gonna be my cool little like give back, and also promote it in the live stream and stuff like that. So that's my goal. Another thing for 2021 is an actual commercial.
That is awesome, man. And are you familiar with the movie Wayne's World, Lyrizone? I know you're a bit younger. You can be like, I will never bow to a sponsor. Drinking my and wearing my Dirtbag Clothing. I want something like that, man.
Yeah, it's a shameless promotion, man. Like I said, most of my brand going from just basic Lyrizone from Hilton Head, South Carolina, rapping on a grind mode cipher, to what I'm doing now, it's all been teamwork and all been promoting and taking care of others, take care of you. And that's where I've told people 24/7, they want to succeed, and you get out of that tunnel vision. And you realize there's more instead of just one person in the brand. And I've been easier to accept that, because I know there's a lot of people behind the scenes that I take care of because they take care of me. And I'm happy now that I actually have graphic designers I go to for album artwork, because that way that's one thing I know they do great at, and that's a selling point. But yeah, it's always good to network and establish teamwork.
Yeah, I love that right there. And you do have the sickest artwork in the underground. I'm going to say that right out now. It is crazy. Some of the stuff I couldn't wear with the kids around though, man. Like you were talking about your Krampus design. Wow. I sort of saw that from the Get Up go. I prefer the PG version. The other one's a little bit.
I hear you.
Well, I've said one thing though. The last 3 years, I've had a lot of PG designs, and I was telling everyone, because everyone was telling me, especially for I had a reaction to Lit Mafia to where a couple of people down below said, "This is not horrorcore." I'm like, really? Like, you're not listed to the same thing I'm saying? Like, you don't think it's horrorcore? And I was like, okay, maybe I need to make a little more grotesque content just for a little bit. People know who I am. And that's why I had Krampus, which is, even with the PG version, it's still a little grotesque. But
Yeah.
people like that stuff.
True, man. And you've just decorated the house and got everything all set up for Christmas. We want to hear the horrorcore man himself. I want to talk a little bit of Christmas with you, man. I've been asking everyone this as well, and I need your opinion. The movie Die Hard, is it a Christmas movie?
Oh, definitely. Who would say no? Who would say no? Have they seen the movie? God.
Well, actually, you're the first one to say yes. There you go.
Well, yes, it is.
Throughout this the month of December, I'm just going to ask people this. Jamie Madrox, no. Blaze Your Dead Homie, no. Lyrizone, yes.
Oh my God.
But all of my buddies are with you. It's a definite, like, it's based around Christmas. They're at a Christmas party. And, you know, well, there you go.
That was a given.
A given,
I
yeah.
thought that was a given question.
All right,
Okay,
man.
I guess the more we know.
I like it, man. What are you looking for this Christmas? What's in Lyrizone's Christmas stocking?
Oh, well, what I got some dirtbag stuff coming in. I got nice hats. Got some stuff for the shop that I'm bringing in. Just so I can bring it in and actually see. I got some stickers I'm ordering. But for what I need, believe it or not, I got a Majora's Mask coming in from Figure 4, and looking forward to putting that somewhere in the studio. New studio gear, which I got a couple of things in mind. I got a microphone now, but I'm thinking about upgrading. And for right now, for stocking stuffers, it's all out bigger than the stock. That's a sad thing, is they're like huge items. But it's not gonna be. I'm not really actually looking forward to too much because it'd be a really slow Christmas, but it's gonna be enough for the studio. So for
Upgrade,
the girl,
man. That's
definitely. But as far as for her, for my girlfriend, probably take care of her. Like I said, most of our stuff we're probably celebrating Christmas inside. Usually we go outside, do stuff. But we're getting pretty close, so I'll see what's going on. But probably see Die Hard
matching
and
leather
ask her,
jacket.
and ask her that question. It's a Christmas movie, and she'll give you the same answer.
I've created some controversy with that, man. I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to rewatch it because I was actually leaning towards no. But you know, I'm sorry, man. I don't want to, have you be mad at me. But I was sort of going, oh, maybe not. But
We're still family. I'll match you. I'll just look at you sideways.
He's strange. He's strange. All right, man. You love horror movies. It is that time of year. We are talking Christmas. Do you have a favorite Christmas horror movie?
Well, it's a couple ones I used to watch. Eraserheads. I've been watching Eraserhead a lot. I don't know why. I'm stuck watching it. It's like the third time this week I've watched it. Rewatched Hostels. The third one was okay. Second one I felt was better. It was more psychological. But usually during Christmas, believe it or not, I stick with Hellraiser. That's like, I've seen it so much. Some people say it's been a slow build as far as the movies itself, like even the first one. But I stick with Hellraiser. That's what I usually go with for Christmas. And Nightmare Before Christmas. That's a given. Jack Skellington. That's a given.
And Die Hard. See, man, I was going for an actual Christmas-themed horror movie, like a Black Christmas, or did you see Santa's Sleigh with Bill Goldberg in it? That one always makes me laugh. Or the Krampus movies. But you're just like, hell no. I just watch Hellraiser. Get up Christmas morning, it's on.
It's Halloween every single day for me.
Yeah, every day is Halloween. All right, man. Well, you've got a whole bunch of stuff on the go. You've got your musicians podcast, you've got your live streams, we've got music to look forward to in 2021. You are a Wayne's World sponsored man. Like you are doing big things, Dirtbag clothing, the works. Is there anything else that we need to know about?
Hopefully I'm trying to do another collaboration with Kung Fu Vampire next year. So that's another thing I have locked in the chamber. I'm ready to start getting things done. There is one production. I'm trying to find the right beat for him because Parasite was one of our beats that I showed him. He liked it. I want to make sure for a second appearance that he's blown away with it. So that's the next thing, is to get the collaboration for him like locked in. I said, it's also production.
Excellent. I'd also like to see an Ala Zula Lu Lyrizone.
Yes.
I think we spoke about that last time. I think that needs to happen.
We're actually still fixing that production beat because I was going go through can't talk today. Jesus. Come on, Lyrizone. I was actually gonna use Stir Crazy and go through him. But then I started asking Josh. I said, "Hey, so as far as production, do you want to like dabble and see if we can make something ourselves?" And then we have Ill Fortune. He sent us some stuff. That had Bad Mind. He sent me some stuff, and I was like, "Okay, I have all these beats. Now I have to find a way to make it ours." So theirs is still locked in the chamber. Modern Dogma is still coming, and essentially that's the title for Modern Dogma, because the Dogma essentially is like a Tower of Silence. See you popping your fist out. This is Tower of Silence, but essentially I was gonna use that as kind of like a ritual type thing, because I seen they had for the last album like Ritual of Rot. I believe it was Ritual of Rot, correct? I think it was the title of it, and I like the theme for it, but I also like to make it my own track for it, so I'm probably much gonna call upon them as kind of like a certain guest appearance, and it's gonna be very intense because I'm planning on making their guest feature probably one of the heaviest tracks on the album. And like I said, I want to work with people so much and collaborate so much, but I want to make sure the track is amazing. I want to make sure they're happy with it, and I just don't want anything lackluster.
Yeah, that is what we like to hear, man. So do you have an expected release date for this album yet, or are you just saying somewhere in 2021?
2021 we're hoping on, but it is a 14-track album. That's the only thing. From the last one was only 8, which took like half the time. With this one, we're outsourcing a lot more as far as voice actors. We actually just got the intro voice actor back. He's over in the UK. He took a little break for a hiatus, and now he's back. And I got those stem files. I'm like, okay, so that's one thing locked in the chamber. There's a couple of producers off Tech Nine's KOD album, Young Fire. I've been trying to hit him up as far as production. That's something I've been waiting. I'm sending emails off like crazy, and it's a big project because I know for this one I have a lot I want to do with it. Music videos, short stories. Like even with the doctor itself, for the lead surgeon for the system, like I had a storyline for him to have his own photo shoot, his own video work, to where he has his own character, because it's not going to be just Lyrizone and the Pleasant Defect. It's going to be everyone surrounding Lyrizone, and it's going to make it a more continuity type project of easier for a Pete. It's not going to be just, oh, okay, well, he had this LP and it was done. It's like, no.
Yeah.
It's Easter eggs is what I look forward to. So 2021.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, music videos, photo shoots, hopefully get in the studio, get the podcasting popping again. Like, I'm looking forward to a lot of stuff. In 2020, though it's been a kind of a rough year, it has been, especially since we talked about the numbers, it's been a very good growth time for me as far as learning how to do stuff hands-on and also take accountability for the business end and go full-fledged into it.
Yeah, you got to look at it with that glass half full sort of thing. I'm the same deal, man. It's like, it hasn't been the greatest year, but you know, you've created opportunities, you've done big things. Super proud of you from over this side of the world, man. Going, man, Lyrizone blowing up. I love to see it. And right before we go, man, I want to grab a recommendation from you. I think we asked this last time. Forget what you said. It can be anything, man. A movie, it can be a pastime, it can be a book that you've read or whatever. And you can't say Hellraiser on Christmas again.
Okay, well, not.
But that's a definite other ones. You're waking up Christmas morning, Die Hard and Hellraiser, it's on.
Okay. We'll actually do what we did the last time. We'll talk about the graphics as far as graphic artist. Ill Fortune, since he does graphics too. Hit him up, especially for animations. Clements Audio, Grant Clements. He did a lot of production. Joshua Holland, Greenlight Studios. Ned Tepper, hit him up. Do it. Kung Fu Vampire, Swift Lifestyles, Dirtbag Clothing. Everybody who has pretty much came through and helped me this year as far as building numbers back, because the streaming sales have been so good. People have been hitting up as far as the merchandise. Like, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's actually came through and shown me that even though we had a pandemic, that music doesn't stop and the fan appreciation doesn't stop. And the music, as far as artistry, hasn't been dead. And even though they say the industry right now is at a halt, I don't believe it. I think if you work hard enough and you keep motivating yourself, that anything's possible, especially right now.
Yeah, you're living proof of that right there, man. Doubled those numbers in the worst year in history for musicians and whatnot as it goes down. Well, thank you so much. Be sure to hit this man up. It is the real Lyrizone on all the social media. We're going to pop all those links and whatnot up on the website, but you know the deal. That latest album is out too. Chopped and Screwed, Retro Injection. Well, it's just remixes and whatnot, yeah?
Yes. We were actually planning to add more, but for right now, for what it was, I was like, okay, so it's a different branch off. We didn't want too many remixes on it because it is a certain style some people might not like, but I enjoyed it. I'm a very big fan of DJ Screw. I enjoyed that music growing up, and some people were kind of like off and on with, especially for horrorcore, but I really, really enjoyed it. I feel like one of the fan favorites, Parasite and The System. Those ones, if you check those out, it's really, really intense.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Lyrizone. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, bro.
This has been another presentation from the Grey Wolf Entertainment Network, greywolfentertainment.net.